If the world were to strip me bare tomorrow, if the accounts emptied, the phone fell silent, and the doors of opportunity slammed shut, I would not flinch. My spirit would not tremble. I would not look to the right or to the left for a savior. I would not scramble for a new plan or mourn what was lost. I would stand still, rooted in the calm center of my being, and I would look within, for I hold a truth that the world, in its frantic chase, has forgotten, a secret that lives in the bones of every awakened woman, that my voice, aligned with spirit, is the true substance, that my word is my wealth, that my decree is the only door that matters. I would not fear the blank slate, for I know that my speech is the sacred ink that writes worlds into being. I would not curse the absence of money, connections, or position, for I know these are merely shadows cast by a power that lives inside me. It is not the job that determines my security. It is not the market that dictates my flow. It is not the validation in a man's eyes that signs the check on my worth. It is the decree, the divine decree, the holy utterance, spoken from the lips of unwavering faith, is the sound that cracks open the vaults of heaven. It is the frequency that calls my good to me from the four corners of the earth, not as a hope, but as an inevitability. I would say what the soul of you already knows, but what the noise of survival has caused you to forget, that the word is the womb of all form, that the spirit speaks, and substance obeys, that the unseen reality is more solid, more reliable, more eternally solvent than any coin you can hold in your hand. So I would stand in the seeming emptiness, where all appeared to be lost, and I would speak until it was full again. I would bless the silence, and then break it with the gold of my own divine affirmations. Because I am not a beggar of life, pleading for scraps. I am not a borrower of riches, dependent on the world's fragile systems. I am the speaker of my own supply, the architect of my own abundance. And I would speak until my words built the house, summoned the money, gathered the favor, multiplied the bread, and filled the barns to overflowing. If I had nothing left but my voice, I would still be infinitely rich, because the word is the wealth, the decree is the door, and I would begin again, not in fear, but in full calm spiritual authority. This power I speak of, this unshakable foundation, is governed by one sacred, unbreakable mechanism that shapes the very substance of your life. It is not a myth. It is not a metaphor. It is the law of belief, the law of the spoken form. And it says, with absolute and irrevocable certainty, that what you impress upon the quiet, fertile soil of your inner world must take root and be expressed in your outer world. The subconscious mind, that faithful and impersonal servant, does not argue. It does not judge. It does not question. It only accepts as truth that which you consistently feel and declare to be true. And once it accepts a truth, it moves heaven and earth to bring it into physical form. This is not theory. These are the divine mechanics of creation. The great spiritual teacher Florence Scovel Shinn knew this with every fiber of her being. She taught that your word is your wand, not a frivolous magical toy, but a tool of divine power, an instrument of creation placed directly into your hands, into your mouth, the moment you were born. Your speech is the bridge between the unseen realm of infinite potential and the seen world of material form. Most women walk through this life believing they are at the mercy of circumstance. They pray for change. They hope for a breakthrough. They wait for a door to open. They are describing their reality instead of defining it. They are reacting to life instead of creating it. But the awakened woman, the woman who is remembering her power, understands that she is not here to wait. She is here to speak. Your voice, aligned with the unshakable truth of spirit, is your true and eternal bank account. It is your line of credit to the infinite. It is your access to the unseen storehouse, where all good things already exist, fully formed, waiting only for your call. It is an unchangeable law that what you impress upon your subconscious mind must be expressed in your affairs. And most people live in a state of quiet poverty, not because God is absent, but because their own speech denies him. They affirm lack with every worried sigh. They worship delay with every someday. They bow before fear with every I can't afford it. But the law of belief is unmoved by appearances. It does not care if your pockets are empty. It does not care if your account is low, if the calls are not coming, if the market feels cold. The law only asks one question, beloved. It whispers it to you in the quiet moments between your thoughts. What are you speaking? What are you imagining? What are you declaring to be true? right now, because your word is the sacred mold, and divine supply is the molten gold that pours itself into that mold, hardening into the exact shape of your most repeated declarations. The ancient scripture says, "Let the weak say, I am strong." This is not a poetic sentiment. It is not positive thinking. It is a spiritual formula of immense precision. It means that even when your hands are trembling, even when the door has closed in your face, even when your bank account is whispering lies into your ear, at 3 a.m, you stand tall in your spirit, and you speak the truth of what is, not the report of your senses. You say, "I am strong." You say, "I am divinely provided for." You say, "There is no delay in divine supply." Your voice is the sacred lever that lifts the weight of the world off your shoulders. So many women I meet believe they are starting over financially. But I tell you, you are not starting over financially. You are starting over spiritually. You have been building your fortune on the shifting sands of the outer world. You have hustled without declaring. You have tried to earn with your hands what was always meant to be spoken into form with your mouth. And so, when the tide of circumstance comes in and sweeps it all away, you think you have lost, but you have only lost what was never truly yours to begin with. What is yours by divine law can never be taken from you. What is yours by spiritual decree must appear and reappear, no matter what the world looks like. So yes, start over, but not with a new strategy. Start over in consciousness. Start over in your words. Tear down the inner house of doubt you've been living in, and with your own voice, build the mansion of truth. Begin again, not in fear, not in logic, but in declaration. The wall that has kept you from your highest good was never made of stone. It was made of silence. It was made of hesitation. It was made of begging for what you were meant to command. Break it now. You must choose to speak of riches, not of poverty. You must declare the unseen as if it were already seen. And you must do it with a voice that does not tremble, a voice that knows its power, a voice that remembers its source. Most people wait to see the money before they will allow themselves to feel secure. They wait to receive the check before they give thanks. They wait for the door to be flung wide open before they dare to call what's behind it theirs. But divine law does not operate on human delay. It moves only when you move first, in faith, when you dare to declare what your eye has not yet seen and your hand has not yet touched. You say it first. You command it first. You speak it into the silence, into the absence, into the seeming nothingness, and you speak it as if the whole world, the whole of creation, already agrees with you. That is the secret of a life of overflow. It is not ambition. It is not worry. It is not strategy. It is divine speech, rhythmically repeated, spiritually backed, unquestioningly believed. You do not need to convince the world. You need only convince your own subconscious mind. And the subconscious, that faithful and obedient servant, when properly and repeatedly impressed, will build your fortune. It will organize your affairs. It will arrange the right meetings. It will fill your accounts, and it will place you in the right place, at the right time, to receive what you have already called forth in the Spirit. The outer world is only the echo. Your inner word is the sound. So I say to you, declare it now. Say, I now draw to myself my divine wealth, and nothing can keep it from me. Say it not with hesitation, but with certainty. Say it as if you are reading a law from a sacred text. Say it as a decree issued from the throne of your own divine authority. You are not speaking to wealth, you are speaking from it. You are not begging a distant force to help you. You are summoning what is already yours by divine inheritance. Let this sentence become your sword and your staff. Let it be your daily bread. Say it in the morning, before your feet touch the floor. Say it when a whisper of fear creeps into your heart. Say it before you check your bank account, not after. Say it until your very atmosphere begins to hum with the vibration of unwavering provision. I now draw to myself my divine wealth, and nothing can keep it from me. Let every word ring like a bell in your soul. Let it dissolve the residue of doubt. Let it cancel the contracts of limitation. Let it undo years of worry and striving. Let it rewire your entire being, until you no longer hope for money, but expect it. Until you no longer fear lack, but laugh at the very idea of it. Until you walk as one who knows, with every cell in her body, that the treasury of heaven stands open at the sound of her voice. This is not fantasy. This is not positive thinking. This is spiritual law, an unbreakable, absolute, and impersonal law that is activated by precision, by word, by conviction. So stop narrating your lack. Stop rehearsing your fears. Stop reinforcing the illusion with words of doubt and defeat. Speak wealth, declare abundance, announce your inheritance, and do it now. Because every day you wait is another day you reinforce what is false. Speak the truth. Stand in the invisible riches of your spirit, and let the world catch up to what you already know is yours. Say it until you become it. Declare it until it manifests. And never ever again give your precious voice to the lie of lack, the sacred fire, annihilating the old spell. But now, we must go deeper. You must not simply say the words. You must be willing to dissolve the inner noise that argues against them. Because within every woman who has suffered under the illusion of lack, there is a clamor of doubt, a static of resistance, a loud and lying chorus that speaks in the voice of reason, of memory, of past defeat. This inner noise must be cleared because it interferes with the broadcast of truth. And what is that noise? It is the echo of your mother's voice saying money doesn't grow on trees. It is the memory of the unpaid bill. It is the shame of a past failure. It is the fear of starting over again without proof. It is the collected whispers of a world hypnotized by scarcity. Listen to me now. These words, these memories, these fears, they are not harmless heirlooms. They are poison. They are chains. They are the invisible cages that have kept the divine feminine spirit of this planet in a state of quiet apology for centuries. They are the spells that have convinced you that your power lies outside of you. They are the static on the radio of your soul, drowning out the clear, beautiful music of abundance that is your birthright. And today we do not just release them. We do not politely ask them to leave. We renounce them. We burn them. We take the sacred fire of truth and we reduce these lies to ash. You will look them in the eye. You will feel their ancient hollow weight, and you will say with the full force of your awakened soul, you have no power here anymore. You have no home in me. You have no authority over my life. I am a child of God, and my inheritance is abundance. Be gone. Feel that. Feel the breaking of the spell. Feel the space that is created. Now into that sacred clean space, you must plant a new seed. This is the divine mechanism of the law of substitution. It is as old as creation itself, written into the invisible structure of your being. It commands that no two things can occupy the same space in your consciousness at the same time. You cannot truly believe in wealth and lack simultaneously. You cannot serve both fear and faith. You cannot declare abundance with your mouth while carrying secret vows of struggle in the back pocket of your soul. The law of substitution comes not to shame you, but to free you. It says, simply replace the lie, speak the new, substitute the old, weary image of lack with the radiant, divine reality of abundance. Because when you speak the truth in the face of an error, the truth wins, always. Just as light casts out darkness the moment a lamp is lit, the word of truth dissolves the illusion of poverty the moment it is declared without compromise. And the sentence that will do this sacred work is not long or complicated. It is a simple arrow of truth, shot straight into the heart of the illusion. It is this: God is my unfailing supply, and large sums of money come to me now, under grace, in perfect ways. This is not a wish, this is a spiritual detonator. When spoken in faith, with rhythm, with repetition, with your full inner consent, it will blow the chains off your consciousness and flood your life with the very substance it calls forth. Speak it and do not stop. Speak it in the face of contradiction. Speak it when you feel foolish. Speak it until the old spell breaks and you realize the truth was always there, waiting, watching, ready to flood in the very moment you held the door open with your faith. This is your sword. This is your staff. This is the sentence that shatters the spell. Speak it and be made free. The law of divine timing, dissolving the illusion of delay. Now, let us speak of delay. For this is one of the most insidious lies told to the seeking soul. The idea that you must wait, that it's not the right time, that your good is being held in some cosmic escrow account pending your worthiness. The world has taught you to sanctify your hesitation, to frame your stuckness as surrender, to call your fear patience. I tell you now, with absolute certainty, delay is not divine. It is disobedience to truth. It is the mental stall caused by doubt, by fear, by hesitation, by a smallness parading as wisdom. Heaven is not slow. The Spirit does not procrastinate. God is not confused about the timing of your good. Delay is never from above. It is born from within. It is the byproduct of words not spoken, faith not declared, doors not walked through, truths not owned. It is the illusion of time mocking the eternal nature of spirit. This is governed by the law of divine right timing. Not the human idea of patience as passive suffering, but the divine order that moves all things in perfect rhythm when alignment is complete. Divine timing is not about waiting for something outside of you to change. It is about the removal of your inner contradiction. It is the sacred synchronization of your thought, your word, and your expectancy. The moment you truly surrender to truth, things move. Heaven moves. Supply moves. The only delay is disbelief. The only slowness is speechlessness. The scripture says, "Before they call, I will answer." Did you hear that? Before the prayer is spoken, the provision is prepared. Before the desire is formed, the way is made. But the answer does not appear in your world until you consent to receive it. Until your consciousness is cleared of the vibration of not yet. It is waiting on your green light, not God's. So stop calling your hesitation divine. Stop romanticizing waiting. Stop interpreting your own resistance as God's timing. Divine timing moves as fast as your faith, and your faith is activated by your word. Speak this now, and let it dissolve the mirage of time. Let it become the new rhythm of your soul. What is mine by divine right cannot be late. It rushes to me now, under grace. Say it until the old habits of waiting break. Say it until you no longer check the clock or the calendar for permission to receive. Say it when the world says it's not your time. Say it when the door seems shut. Say it when the voice of logic whispers that things take years, that wealth must accumulate slowly. Say it louder than the voice of caution, because you know that divine order does not run on human time. It runs on truth. And truth moves faster than any appearance. What once took years can collapse into weeks. What once seemed distant can appear suddenly, because you stopped pushing it away with your own words of hesitation. You do not manifest by waiting. You manifest by speaking, and you speak in the tense of spirit, which is always, eternally, now. The law of command, speaking as the master, not the servant. And now we must speak of money itself. You have been trained to see it as a master, a goal, a scarce and unpredictable creature to be chased and captured. This is a profound error in consciousness. Money is a servant. It is divine substance in material form, and it is designed to be responsive. It listens to the voice of command. It does not lead, it follows. It does not initiate, it responds. It has no will of its own, no agenda, no power apart from the energy and instruction given to it by the one who speaks from spiritual authority. If you do not command it, it will drift, following the anxious, fearful voices of the world. It is not summoned by need, it is summoned by command. It is not attracted by panic, it is magnetized by the calm presence of one who knows their place in the divine order. This is the operation of the law of command. A spiritual law, immutable and unbreakable, that separates the wanderer from the demonstrator. The law of command is not a metaphor. It is spiritual mechanics. It is the clear, unwavering declaration that spirit responds to conviction and that substance organizes itself around authority. The Roman centurion understood this law perfectly when he said to the master, "Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed." He wasn't asking for a ritual or a physical touch. He knew that true power moves through word, not through force. He recognized that all matter, all circumstance, all so-called sickness and lack must bow before the voice of unwavering command. And yet, how many times have you whispered when you should have declared? How many times have you asked when you were meant to command? How many times have you described your situation when you were meant to define it? This is why your world has remained half-built. You have been polite with the law instead of powerful in it. You have spoken as a tenant instead of as an heir. The law of command says this: what you will not say with certainty, you cannot sustain in reality. What you hesitate to name, you will hesitate to receive. So I tell you now, speak boldly. Call it forth. Issue your decree. Stop negotiating with the unseen as if it is reluctant. It is not reluctant. It is obedient. But it obeys the voice of spiritual clarity, not mental chatter or anxious pleading. Declare this and feel the shift in your very spine from asking to ordering. I now command riches to serve divine purpose through me. You are not ordering from a place of arrogance. You are aligning with your divine identity. You are commanding money not to serve your ego, but to expand divine order. Not to prove something to others, but to prove the immutable power of the law. And law, once spoken with rhythm and repeated until it carves a new groove in the stone of your being, must obey. Fortune is not deaf. It is not deciding. It is waiting, waiting for the sound of your faith. And when it hears it, it follows. Every time. The law of identity, awakening the wealth within. Finally, we arrive at the root of all manifestation, the throne room of reality, the most intimate and powerful of all spiritual principles, the law of identity. The scripture says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he hopes, not as he wishes, not as he performs, but as he is in the deepest chamber of his being, his inner image, his spoken self-definition, his silent declarations repeated day after day until they harden into atmosphere. You see, the world is not responding to what you do. It is responding to who you believe you are. And if you continue to speak, act, and feel like one who is seeking, searching, begging, surviving, adjusting, or waiting, then you can only ever receive what matches that vibration. The universe can only give you what you agree you are. But the moment you shift into identity, into the I am, into the spoken form of who you truly are in spirit, you begin to emit a frequency that no appearance can ignore. Because law does not respond to personality, law does not respond to effort, law does not respond to struggle, law responds to identity, to form, to vibration, to a word backed by the full conviction of being. And when you say, I am the wealth of God made visible, you are not playing with language. You are activating divine code. You are drawing the unseen self into visibility. You are calling forth the inner millionaire, not from fantasy, but from spiritual memory. For this self already exists. It is the version of you that has never doubted, never feared, never apologized for abundance, never begged for scraps, never flinched at overflow. This version of you was formed in divine substance and clothed in divine law before the world began. And the only thing that has held it back is your refusal to speak it forth. Identity is not found. It is declared. The servant may ask. The beggar may hope. But the heir declares. The heir walks in the authority of I am. And until you walk in that rhythm, until you speak from that name, you will remain outside the gates of your own estate. But when you speak the millionaire within into form, when you call it forth as if it were already done, when you align every thought, action, and atmosphere with that identity, then the world must conform, not by chance, not by effort, but by law. So now you must do what few dare to do. Not just believe you are wealthy, but speak as the wealth itself. Not as one in pursuit of abundance, but as the embodiment of it. You must say, until every cell of your body believes it, I am the wealth of God made visible. I do not chase money, I reveal it. Say it until the chase dissolves. Say it until the anxiety vanishes. Say it until your nervous system ceases to pulse with the false urgency of pursuit and instead vibrates with the calm, magnetic rhythm of divine revelation. You are not here to run after provision. You are here to stand still in truth and let provision recognize you, align with you, find you, flow to you. You must stop imagining that money lives outside of you. You must begin to know deeply, absolutely, that the only wealth that matters is the wealth you carry in your voice. Speak it until your tone changes. Speak it until your spine straightens. Speak it until you no longer interpret opportunities as lifelines, but as rightful appointments. Speak it until every interaction you have carries the aroma of overflow. Until you walk into rooms and lack fleas because it cannot find a home in you anymore. This is not fiction. This is not ego. This is spiritual truth spoken into a world that has forgotten its source. You are not here to perform for prosperity. You are here to reveal it. And the way you reveal it is by declaring it without hesitation, without apology. I am the wealth of God made visible. That is the law speaking through you. That is God remembering himself in your form. That is truth wearing your voice. You are not becoming. You are remembering. You are not chasing. You are revealing. And your voice is the instrument of that revelation. Your sacred labor, the final installation. And now, beloved, let the final veil fall. The last illusion that your voice is weak, that your words are mere sounds. That is the lie you must tear out now. Your voice is the carrier of divine vibration. Every syllable you release in faith sends a command through spiritual substance that reshapes the field around you. The reprogramming is not just about what you think. It is about what your entire being vibrates. And that vibration is shaped by repetition, by rhythm, by sound, by sacred language spoken so consistently that the body begins to believe it, the mind begins to obey it, and your external life begins to conform to it without resistance. So I give you this final formula, not for inspiration, but for installation. These are not affirmations for your journal. They are instruments of recreation, chisels for the mind, hammers for the subconscious, golden incantations that carve new grooves into the stone of your being until wealth is not something you try to believe in, but something you cannot forget. Declare with me now. Let these words become your breath, your walk, your rhythm, your core. God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. Let this be the opening line of your new life. Let this sentence dissolve every false belief that says supply comes from man, from hustle, from delay. This is not poetry. It is the divine structure of reality. Every channel is open. Every door is unlatched. My good now comes to me from expected and unexpected sources. You are no longer limited to the channels you can see. You are opening your consciousness to the infinite ways of spirit. You are declaring that the universe is creative, surprising, and always on your side. I am immune to fear, delay, and economic illusion. This is your new spiritual immune system. Fear cannot enter. Delay cannot deceive. Appearances cannot seduce you into believing lack is real. You are inoculated with truth. You carry spiritual antibodies made of your own powerful words. I spend, give, and receive as a steward of divine wealth. This is how you walk through the world now. Not as one afraid of bills, not as one shrinking at the register. You move like one through whom money flows, circulating, commanded. You are not spending your money. You are circulating God's substance. Everything I seek is already mine in the invisible. You no longer seek, you remember. You no longer strive, you retrieve. You are not chasing, you are revealing. The treasure is not ahead, it is within. You are not far, you are awakening. My words are gold. My voice is the vault. Stop treating your speech like a side note. Stop muttering half-beliefs into the void. Your mouth is the mechanism. Your tongue is the trigger. Your voice is the gate. Speak with weight. Speak with tone. Speak with law. And now the final command, the seal, the cornerstone, the rhythm that reshapes everything. Let it ring through your body. Let it dissolve what no longer serves. Let it become your inner gospel. I am wealth. I speak, and it is. You are not becoming. You are. You are not trying. You speak. And the moment you speak, it must be. Because law does not fail. Spirit does not stall. The word does not return void. You are not broken, beloved. You are remembering. You have simply forgotten the power that has been resting in your own mouth this entire time. You have forgotten that you are the author of your days, the speaker of your world. The old story is finished. The pen is in your hand. The ink is your own voice. Now speak, because your word is your wand, and your wand is in your mouth. Speak, and it is done. Leave a comment below this video and make your choice known. Declare it to yourself, to the universe, to the deepest part of your own being. Right. I am ready to lead my subconscious. Let that be your first act of command. Your first step into a life where you no longer wait for miracles, but speak them into being.